All right. We're going to go ahead and get things started. So just a reminder to get familiar with Zoom. So you can just hover your mouse over the top. You should be able to see Q&A there at any time. So thank you all for taking time for joining today's webinar. Of course, the topic, as you can see, is getting your app in shape, FanX preseason prep. So with that, our focus today is to provide you with the information and tools in order to head into the 2019-2020 season with confidence. So this is a look at our agenda for today. We're going to go over some brief introductions, and then we'll cover, we're going to hit on a variety of checklists and then wrap things up with a sample game day timeline to help kind of set expectations for the app and for your team this season. So, and like I said, as always, we'll leave time at the end to address any questions you may have. But like I said, you can drop those questions into that Q&A at any point, and we'll try to answer them live. But of course, you know, we've got that time there at the end to touch on anything that's left over. So without any further ado, here's a look at your hosts for today. It's going to be myself, Sydney Reiners, and Harry Rogers, and we're both experienced customer success coaches here at From Now On. And so you should also be seeing a poll here dropping onto your screen, and this is just kind of a fun trivia to start us off today, to ask kind of the question, get to know our team a little bit and to guess what percentage of FNO employees are former college student athletes. So if you want to take some time to fill that guy out. All right, we're going to go ahead and close this guy out. We actually only got one person who got it right. It was actually 26% is the percentage of FNO employees who are former college athletes. And don't worry, you're in good hands here because both Harry and I do contribute towards that percentage. So you're in good hands here, and I know both of us are excited to share this information that we've got for you for today's webinar. All right, so launching into that content, the first thing that you want to do as you prepare for the upcoming season is to review the content that's in your app. So keeping an eye out for things that need to be updated. And then there are three basic categories that you can think about when it comes to that. The first one is going to be trimming the fat. So as you look through everything on the app, be on the lookout for things that need to be removed entirely. So a good example would be something like an outdated stadium policy or even a coach's show that is no longer running. And so, you know, one thing to note as you're going through the app and prepping it content-wise for the next season is to, you know, have the app pulled up on your phone. Seems really basic while you're going through the portal as well as you're going through each of those pages, for example, the fan guide, and making sure that everything kind of reflects the way it should. So the next piece is going to be getting tone. So what to update in the app. So for example, team action shots. So any graduated players that need to be removed, those images, so those team card images, team banner images, making sure that we're representing current athletes. And then another one is the overall design of the home screen. You can update those graphics and bring them more in line with your brand for the upcoming season. So if you've got new marketing plan as far as how you're putting out that branded material, make sure the app is in line with that as well. It's also a good visual for fans when the app is updated since last year. Just kind of makes it look a little bit more fresh, and then obviously it's kind of that cue to them that, hey, you guys are putting some love and attention into that app, and so they know that they're getting the most up-to-date material that they possibly can. And of course, keep in mind that your customer success coach is always there to help you as a resource, so to implement any of those changes to make that you need to make to the app. So in that example for the home screen cards, if you share with us kind of what your marketing material is for this upcoming year and say, hey, I really want my app to speak to this vibe, you know, we can definitely work with you to get things all set. So then the last thing to do as you're reviewing the content in the app is to note anything that's missing holistically. So whether it's a brand, whether it's brand new for this year or it just wasn't represented last year. For example, you know, in the fan guide, if there's a new kids club or some new game day activity that will be going on this year, make sure that you're calling attention to it with your app. This also goes for things like rewards. If you've got a new student group on campus and you want to make sure that they're included as a group or a subgroup for your rewards, if there's going to be any sort of competition there, just making sure that you're drawing attention to that and not leaving anything out. So, and of course, to help you with updating this content, after the conclusion of this webinar, when we send you out that recording link, we're also going to be sharing with you some resources that you can use in order to get the app updated in each of these checklist sections that we're discussing today. So this checklist in particular for the content will have different sections of the app and give you space to note down any action items you need to take in order to get the app content where you want it to be. So moving on to marketing. So another thing you should do to prep for the next season is gear up and prepare for a successful marketing campaign in regards to your app. So first you'll want to identify the places you want to promote in your mobile app. So keep in mind that you'll want to vary those placements between digital, in-game, and on campus. Following that, you'll want to start collecting those assets and collateral necessary to promote the app in those placements. So make sure that you have everything you need handy, from graphics, download links, screenshots, etc., before heading out to execute. And then one thing to note, you know, as we go through implementation process with any of our clients, we put together a marketing kit for your team that's already got imagery that's pre-sized for Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, those types of placements. But so if you want an updated look to that marketing kit, you know, just reach out to us and we'll get that taken care of. Or even furthermore, if you've got a splash page on your website or a really specific kind of unique dimension placement where, you know, one of our marketing kit placements maybe doesn't fit that, just share those dimensions with your customer success coach and we'll get something out to you. So then that last step is to execute. So this is the final step in that marketing process, connecting the placements with the assets so you are prepared to integrate the app into your marketing strategy on game day. So, and again, like I said, we'll have some resources that we'll be sending out to you shortly after this webinar concludes. And that second checklist associated with the marketing checklist, we'll follow up. We'll have a common placements to include in the app, and we'll also give you some suggestions as far as what you'll need to have handy for your marketing asset list. All right, so now to the fun part, game planning. So before you can crush your goals, you've got to set them first. So this is probably the most important step for preparing for the next season. The high-level view of this step is to make sure that what you're doing with the app aligns with your overall department goals and really speaks to it. So in step one in this process, we want to identify those department goals and what those are for our team. In our example that we're showing here on this slide, we'll assume that one of our department goals is to increase ticket sales. So once we've got that department goal, then we want to identify ways that we can use the app to accomplish that goal. For our ticketing example, the plan is to add a tickets card onto the home screen and then send push notifications whenever those tickets go on sale. And those are two actions that we're going to take in order to increase those ticket sales that's specific to the app side of things. So then lastly, of course, we want to be able to measure how we're doing here. And we'll obviously go ahead and track ticket sales to see if we're meeting that department goal, but we can also track taps and views on that ticketing card along with the engagement on those push notifications to see just how impactful the app was towards accomplishing that goal. So here on this page, we're just going to provide just a few other example goals to get ideas flowing for you. This list is also included on a resource that we'll follow up with and share with you, and it'll help you kind of document those goals, that app activity and measurement for the upcoming season. And then I'm also going to be dropping a poll here. Poll number 2. All right. I'm also dropping a poll here. Our team is always excited to kind of learn about what your goals are for the upcoming season, so then we can really kind of be a part of your team and brainstorm how we can get the app to help you guys out with that. So this is a multiple choice to select all that apply for you. All right. Going to go ahead and share these results. So a lot of it's student engagement, which is really great. There's a lot of brainstorming we can do with the app to help you guys in that regard. So, it's when you've got that goal, we're your partner. You don't have to actually come to us and say, you don't have to have all the ideas. Just having that goal and then saying, what can I do? We're kind of those thought leaders for you and want to be a part of your team to help you really thrive and crush that goal. All right, so you're almost done hearing my voice before I hand things over. We're just going to finish up with some fundamentals here on my side. I just want to share some final thoughts to keep in mind. So while these things in particular don't fall into any of the categories we discussed, each one of them is important as far as putting your best foot forward for the 2019-2020 season. So the first one here is testing stats. So reaching out to your customer success coach for a test on each stat-supported sport is a really great way to kind of make sure that we're all good to go there, and so we can avoid any surprises on game day. Another important thing when it comes to stats is to make sure that if you're changing stat providers for anything, that you've notified your customer success coach and that we've got a plan of attack there. Next is integrating new sponsors. So make sure to let our team know that if there are any logos that need to be updated or any pre-work that we can help you with as far as promotions, that we're taking care of that. And if you're not familiar with some of those sponsorship placement opportunities within the app, we've got a really great sponsorship and promotions playbook that we can share with you guys. We're happy to go over it with you. It just takes about 30 minutes or so, or if you just want us to share that playbook, and it just kind of overlays all of those inventory placements, and then you guys are prepared to share those with your potential partners. So then following that up is testing that in-app audio. So if you have a popular coaches show or promoting in-app audio for your games, make sure that you're keeping an eye on that stream at the start of the season to make sure everything's working properly. And with that, if you're not familiar already, we do have an on-call staffer at all times. So when it's outside of business hours, which obviously during business hours you can reach out to your CSC, but in the evening and on the weekends, if you are encountering any sort of issue, we do have someone on call. And if you go to our FanX Success Center, that text line is right there. So if you just text that issue in, someone will get back to you within 5 minutes and help you kind of troubleshoot and fix that problem. So then our last bit here is that staff training. We always want to make sure that you guys are comfortable and confident with running the app through the portal. And so if you even just need a refresher, we've got trainings every single week. We've got portal basics, promotions, and then rewards. And so we like to keep them, real short and sweet and make sure that you guys are getting all the information that you need. So don't hesitate, sign up for one of those just so you can get a refresher before the season starts. And of course, if you've got any new staff members, have them sign up so that they can get acclimated as well. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and hand things over to Harry so that he can walk us through an example game day and how you can set expectations and provide fans with the best experience for this year.
Perfect. Thanks, Sydney. Hi, everyone. I'm Harry. So we're going to switch gears a little here. Now that you have some ways to get your app in the best shape and set some goals for the upcoming season, I'm going to give you some ideas and ways to keep your fans engaged during a game day or even a game week. So I'll go through and show you some examples. By no means are these set in stone. These are just some ideas that we have. The start of any game week or game day is a pregame. This build-up is a time for fans to get excited and to get all the information they need for the upcoming game. You can use this time to really excite and engage those fans. I'm going to walk you through some of the things that we think our fans are looking for and recommended ways of getting that information. So the first one you see on the screen here is ticket information. This is something that fans are looking for in advance to the game. Notifications are a great recommendation of how we feel you can reach your fans. Let them know when the tickets go on sale, any special discounts or deals that you have, or just simply where you can pick them up. Fans that aren't going to be at the game want a way to watch it live. You can update the event info prior to the game and add a TV or a streaming provider so that fans know where to go to catch the action live. One more thing is the weather going to be sunny or rainy? You know, fans want to be prepared for every kind of condition on game day, so why not send a quick notification to give your fans a heads up of the weather forecast? If you don't want to send too many notifications to your fans, you can roll out the ticket information, streaming platform, and weather update into one notification. And lastly, if you're like me in the build up to a game, I love to read match articles, anything I can to learn more about what's going to go on. For schools with FanX Plus, those match preview articles that you post on your website will automatically get pulled into the newsfeed. For schools without FanX Plus, you can go ahead and pull those in through the portal. So after the pregame, we're going to talk a little bit about during the game. So fans, both in the arena and at home, are constantly on the lookout for any relevant information to the game that's going on. There are several ways you can use your app to provide this content during the game. The fans at home will want score updates, but no need to worry here. Every score update is automated to make your life easier. Another things that fans look for are updates from your social media accounts. These are automatically pulled in once we have your social media account set up at the beginning of the season. Again, one less thing to worry about on game day. Any relevant real-time updates, such as inclement weather, say a storm's rolling in, a player gets injured, or anything else your fans may need to know during a game, you can send that out with a manual notification. We know and we understand how crazy and busy game days can get. By having this stuff set up in advance and automated, your app can be utilized in the game without a bunch of work for you guys to do.
Yeah, that's all really great. Oh, sorry. No, that's really great, Harry. And you know, with those score alerts, they're automated for all of your home games, but also keep in mind for those who aren't expecting stats for away games, there's still a way for that. You can provide that content to your fans. You can do those manual notifications just like you would with real-time updates. That when you get to those close game situations, you can do that same thing for away games. And the fun thing about doing it for away games when you're not expecting those live stat notifications to be going out, that you can really have some fun with them. You know, use that rich media, put some photos in there and that type of thing. But sorry for jumping in on you, Harry.
No, that's perfect. That's a very good point. So we'll move on to post-game. So after the game, this is a time that fans are looking for a lot of updates. You know, keep them in the loop with how the game went, any follow-ups they can be watching, or any articles that they can read. One of the main things we see highlights are something that fans both want at the game and the fans at home. They want to see what happened in the game and see a quick clip or a quick video. A recommended way of doing this would be to post it on Twitter. That way it's going to automatically get pulled into your social feed. One of the other things is a recap article. You know, how did the game go? Any big events, whatever happened. This, again, can be pulled into the newsfeed automatically for those FanX Plus customers and pulled in manually for those not signed up for FanX Plus. These will populate the newsfeed and give your fans a native source to go and, you know, recap the game. Some fans also love to watch their favorite players or coaches answer questions in the post-game press conference. A great way that we think you can get this to your fans is to stream that live on Twitter. That way it will populate in the app and your fans can go ahead and follow that live. One big thing is that we aim to make your lives easier by having the post-game content pull into the app automatically or as easy as possible. You know, give your fans a great experience without making your post-game even busier. So with that, I'm going to hand things back over to Sydney to wrap up. I hope you have a good idea now of how to make a game week or game day even more exciting and engaging for your fans than you already do.
Awesome. So yeah, we're real quick today with our webinar here. And so in conclusion, there are some very basic steps that your team can take in order to get the app ready for the upcoming seasons. And by no means is this meant to be a daunting or overwhelming realization. Our goal is to create excitement and help you crush your goals that you have as a department-wide or even just any app-specific goals. So be sure to monitor your email and keep an eye out. We'll be sending out this recording and those resources mentioned to help you get your app in shape. And so without any further ado, I do want to go ahead and finish things up with that Q&A. So, and one thing I forgot to mention when we were going through our final thoughts was our add-ons and integration. So I do want to make sure to bring that up. And I know Harry did a really great job of addressing those FanX Plus perks. But if you do have any add-ons that you're interested in or add-ons that you are moving forward with, make sure that you're in communication with your CSC, that we've got all the paperwork taken care of, that we're all good to go on the technical side as well. As you've heard, we've got that FanX Plus that's coming out next, that's going to be launching next week. This add-on taps into your website data feed, and it helps which helps your team better manage the app by eliminating some of that double entry. So when what you update on your website, be it a game time, player in the roster, removing them or adding them, this will automatically update in the app. And if you haven't already gotten set up with FanX Plus, let us know and we'll get you some more information. All right, got one question in here already. Yeah, great question, Jeremy. So the question is, do you have anything to show from the new team news stream? So our news feed, as we were mentioning, that news feed card is what's going to populate on the home screen now. So the order of those cards on the home screen is going to shift a little bit. We're going to have that news feed be first, and of course you can name that whatever you like, and it's not required. So if you don't want to have that news feed card, you don't have to, but it's going to pull in Twitter, Instagram, and then if you have FanX Plus, it's going to tap into that data feed and pull in those news articles from there. So that'll be your first card. Then the second one is going to be the schedule, since whenever this is coming from our data that we see when fans get into the app, what are they looking for, and the schedule is one of the top things. And then teams will be third, followed by fan guide, concessions, merchandise, and then those promotion cards will still maintain kind of their flexibility as far as where they'll show up. But specifically about the design of what that card looks like, it'll open up very similar to kind of what you see with the social feed when you're in the game detail or live game view, where you can just scroll through that content. It'll also have a filter on it, which is really great. So if you want to filter down to just be looking at a specific team, like you might do in the schedule, you'll have that ability. But what it will default to content-wise is going to be based off of that user's preferences. So if I'm choosing to only follow football and volleyball, when I jump into my news feed card, I'm only going to see news, Twitter, and Instagram for the following teams. Now, if I want to say, like I said, filter to a different one, then I have the ability to do so. So Jeremy, I hope that answered your question. If you're looking for any mock-ups or something like that, feel free to reach out to your CSC. I know we have a couple things, but otherwise, just keep an eye out come August. Another question that we often get, and I'll have Harry answer this along with me, is what's the #1 piece of advice you can give for running the app this season? And so for me, and I'll start off first as far as that #1 piece of advice, it's really just attention. You know, a lot of the stuff in the app is automated. You've got those live stat notifications and those types of things, but just giving it that once over is really great. And then one of my favorite pieces of the app is the team stats and then the player stats as well, and how you're able to upload those is through a season XML. So making sure to upload that season XML at least once a week is really great. It just provides some more content that fans really do find valuable. But I'll pass it over to Harry if he's got a #1 piece of advice that's different.
I think that, use notifications to your advantage. I know a lot of fans don't want to be spammed with constant notifications. So if you can, like I spoke about earlier, maybe put the streaming information, weather information, and tickets all into one notification so it's not a bunch going out at the same time. Use those notifications to give valuable content and really help engage your fans that way.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Having a fun notification is always great. I know, especially for me, when on the app that I have, emojis always catch my eye. I know that might seem really silly, but they always kind of catch my eye and make me kind of turn back and be like, wait, what was that? Rather than just always a barrage of kind of text notifications. So have some fun there. But like Harry said, don't go too far, and always segment your notifications so they're going to the exact audience that you want. Going to give another 4 minutes or so here for some additional questions. All right, so one question through our chat here. As far as we were talking about analytics, so when you're setting those goals, you want to be able to measure them analytically. So I know we do provide you guys with monthly analytics, but the question here is, can I access those analytics that are specific to taps and screen views directly, or do I need to request this information? And that's a really great question. So like I said, we do provide those analytics on a monthly basis, and that kind of covers the total users, active users, new users, and those things. But as far as specific to a card or promotion or something like that, that would be something that we would need a request for. We can turn that around very quickly for you guys in just a matter of minutes. But if you do have that question about if you do have a tickets card or a promotion and you want to understand what the impressions have been and what the taps have been, just reach out to your CSC and we'll be able to accommodate that. Now in our example where we were talking about that activation through notifications, you do have the ability to see the value that your notifications are bringing through the portal. So if you go to that header in the portal that's titled notifications, if you go over to sent, you'll be able to see what the response to that notification was as far as how many users received it. Awesome. Another question. So season stats for soccer and football are still on our team landing page. Can I clear those out, or is that something FNO needs to do? Our team will go ahead and take care of clearing out those season stats. I'll make sure to hit up your CSC and let them know that those are still in there. So yeah, we'll go ahead and clear that out. That's done through the portal, and our team will take care of that. But that's a great question. So yeah, same thing goes for rewards points. We'll get all those reward points reset before the fall season. I know that's an action item for one of our team members right now. They're going through and clearing all those out. So all of those users will be back to zero before the season starts so that they can start checking in again. But yeah, another great question. So just another couple minutes for questions here, but before you guys head out, I do have one last poll for you guys. Of course, with our webinars, we're always dedicated to creating valued content for you guys to help you out, and we would like to know if we can count you guys in for our next webinar. Awesome. So we've got one dedicated person to head to our webinar for the next time, and then two who I'm glad are not knows, but maybe when is it? And our next webinar will be in October, I believe, but I will need to confirm. But of course, you can always sign up for our webinars by going to the FanX Success Center, which is accessible through your portal by tapping on the help button in the upper right-hand corner. And you can head over to the right-hand side. You'll be able to see our live trainings and webinar series that you can sign up for. So please take time to sign up. The great thing about signing up for our webinars, even if you're not sure if you're going to be able to attend, is that you will be the first one to receive the recording of that webinar before we post it live to the rest of our audience. So be sure to sign up. Mark your calendars, and of course, if last minute you're not able to, or someone from your team isn't able to, they'll still be able to get that recording. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys all again for attending today. I know we're trying to keep things short and to the point and make sure we're bringing valued content to you guys, but if you guys have any suggestions for what you'd like to see on an upcoming webinar, reach out to us, let us know. We're here to help, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. I can't wait for the season to start.